was never really good playing role of the puppet. Too busy being me to be concerned with perception of the public. Everyone is buzzing, but everybody ain't thinking about a budget. I want ownership in something. Niggas get their wings.
MCB, and we are back with another video for the channel, man. And I gotta let y'all know what's really happening out here in these streets. Okay. So again, 50 Cent topic of discussion. This Diddy documentary, The Reckoning on Netflix, is the topic of discussion, and Marlon Wayans topic of discussion. Right. It's all one big deal. Jane Dale is involved, speaking out, right? Against Kirk Barrows. It's been a wild week, right? This Diddy documentary is still number 1, number 2 on Netflix in multiple countries, right? So I say all that to say, Marlon and 50 going back and forth, right? 50 not having it, right? Hey, dog, Marlon, you out there defending Diddy and his actions, right? What you doing? This, that, and the third. You know, speaking his piece, right? And then you have Marlon like, nah, dog, I ain't defending homie. I ain't defending him. I'm not defending his actions or defending, don't kick a man while he down, right? Everybody got their dirt. This industry is this industry. We all should know what's up, right? And my personal opinion on all of this is, granted, I said it a million times, Diddy is guilty of what Diddy is guilty of. What they've already proved that he did, right? But it's like 50-50 pile up. It's like a pile of Uno cards. Like, boom, draw 2, draw 2, draw 4, draw 2. Come on, man. Like, at the end of the day, it seems like when you're famous, or when you have a name and you have money behind you, right? Or there's no more money to suck out of someone, you have to discard them, right? It's okay to, hold the person accountable for their issues, their negligence, their mistakes, right? But to completely throw an entire person in their complete legacy away, even the positive, is where I'm like, whoa, hold on now, right? So at the end of the day, and you gotta also think about the motivation, right? Like, there's so many others that stayed quiet, that disassociated themselves from what he had going on, what he was accused of, right? They didn't support, they didn't kick him, they just stayed quiet, right? Until all of the facts were brought, right? People judge those people. Oh, why haven't they said anything? Because the way that industry works, the way that it works when you have what you have, and there's others that don't, who've been around you, that feel like they didn't reap the same benefits, oh, they gonna definitely attack, right? You can definitely be a victim of people making false accusations, or we've seen it, right? So there's a such thing as real victims that things have actually happened to, who deserve their justice. There are people who will pile onto that, who have nothing, nowhere near the light of what happened to somebody else. They'll end up just like, hey, well, that person over there, it actually happened to them. Their stuff is proven, so now I can come with this false case and get this money, right? It's so much of that. So you may have 3 honest cases and then 55 fraudulent cases, right? But it's all for the bag, it's all for the money, it's all for what we didn't have, he didn't have, she didn't have, they didn't have. We need something too, right? So I say that we all should look at all of these things case by case basis, minimalistic, right? You shouldn't kick a person while they're down, but if you feel strongly about somebody's actions and what they did and didn't do, you should speak out. Should you go on a campaign to completely tarnish and ruin that person's legacy? I don't think so. Not all the time, right? Unless you have personal stake to gain. This Diddy and 50 thing is personal, right? I've seen multiple bloggers, multiple content creators, people establish that, right? We do know that it was allegedly, I'll say allegedly because I don't even, I don't want to be, but that man child's mother was involved some way, shape, or form. So that's a personal angle to attack from. Yeah, that may not be what he using, right? So even when you go into the Diddy might have had something to do with the Biggie and Pac murders, right? Y'all gotta prove that, right? And I mean, granted, these are two of the biggest stars in the world, and two of hip hop's greatest is damaging to fans, especially rap fans, especially um, fellow MCs and hip hoppers who up and comers who respected them, their legacy, and those gentlemen and what they did. Right? We get that, and you want justice for these gentlemen so bad that the only thing that makes sense is a conspiracy theory, right? And yeah, it may be one, right? And it may not be. They so quick to implement this person that Suge did this and Diddy did that and did it. All parties involved are guilty, right? And it's not actually we put the hit. No, it's all about negligence, right? You had labels, you had security, you had CEOs negligent, right? If the FBI and the CIA, you have you have legal sectors, like you have law enforcement that literally watched and followed hip hop. That was their job, and then you had hip hop cops. Like that was always a thing. Like, come on now. Ever since the Scotland Rock shooting, they had to pay attention to hip hop, right? Easy with his gangster message and NWA what they was doing, paying attention to that. Tupacalypse Now when he came out, all of the conscious rap, you were paying attention to hip hop. Law enforcement was. They was. Think about the days of the tunnel, right? So when you think about all that, and hip hop's being watched, all of this stuff is surveilled. That's why where they get them camera angles from? Right now we have FBI and former CIA and people exposed that we knew what was up with, you know what I'm saying? So law enforcement knew about the back and forths and all of that. Everybody did nothing. So no matter whether the hit was conspiracy and this person did that and paid for this, paid for that, it still could have been avoided. Because you can put a bag on somebody's head and then not go through. Oh no, security was on 10 that night, man. They did their job. They had armed security. Come on. Assassination attempts have been diverted multiple times before they actually were successful. Right? Even with Tupac, he's been shot multiple times. Like within the shootouts that we haven't even heard of. So at the end of the day, fault if you can't prove criminal liability, one liability I will give to both of those CEOs of Bad Boy Records and Death Row at the time was negligence, ego. Right? That's the main reason. Like negligence and ego. And then after the fact, you can say, did he, profited off of the death of Biggie Smalls? Well, your label would have crumbled if you didn't. That's the truth of the matter. Like if you didn't make a move, right? If Mace didn't keep the lights on, the Locks didn't keep the lights on, and Diddy didn't go and do the No Way Out album and have the lights on, and they didn't do the big tributes and keep the lights on, right? What happens? Right? And that's the thing that we go, the business. Yeah, man could have really been grieving. Like, the whole funeral thing proved that with the paperwork, right? You're looking at the doc, it is some, I didn't know that might have happened. But at the end of the day, it's even the same thing with law enforcement. If you don't have the paperwork to prove it, then what are you saying? Right? So, okay, prostitution, the Mann Act, beating up Cassie, possibly beating on other women. That seems to be his thing. That's him, right? Wild parties and shenanigans. That's him, right? Murder, paying for hits, right? Suge Knight was a boogeyman until the Mall Pyru wasn't around. Like then he started getting knocked out. Like so he got it, right. So we got her like. Diddy is not the same Diddy that Diddy was running around with Wolf and how Gene Deal says that Wolf Reds, the same gang and Harlem Cats and he breaks it down pretty well. I don't need to go into what he said, but at the end of the day, man, come on, then you talking about Marlon versus 50. Like, how many times, right? Why can't somebody have an opinion without somebody being upset about it, right? I don't think he directly took a disrespectful shot at 50. I believe he was just saying, yo, dog, listen.
50 and Puff have a long-term beef. It's personal. It's between him and Puff. And before it's between him and Puff, it's between both of them and God. Just the way Puff is down on his luck and 50's kicking a man when he's down.
God is going
to. If 50 ever luck turn up on 50, you got to be careful what you put out. There's a karma to every action that you do.
You think we'll see that day?
Huh?
You think we'll see that day?
I don't think 50 does dumb stuff. You know, he's very smart, you know, in terms of his business. I think he already had his...
I think we already would have saw it.
He got shot 9 times. He paid his debt early. So that's why he's like, F it. But, you know, look, this is between him and Puff, and honestly, it's between both of them and God.
Yeah.
So, you know, only God can judge, and both of them people will have time to sit with God and talk about and through everything. And right now is Puff's time to sit there and have a conversation, a much-needed conversation with God.
He ain't say nothing crazy.
Yeah, so 50 Cent posted, I will say too, a lot of places that I saw posting this clip weren't posting it in full, like that other part
Yeah,
where
seemed
you
like a
didn't,
little clip, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't post it in full. So if you, I mean, 50 just likes to troll anyway, but if you first watch just that little clip, it kind of sound like, oh, 50, your day is coming, you better relax. But then when you watch the full thing, it's like, oh, but he's a smart guy, whatever. But 50 Cent posted Marlon Wayans from White Chicks and said, keep my name out your mouth, boy. And then Marlon Wayans is coming back on Instagram too. You about to say something, Charlotte?
I was gonna, how come nobody ever says that when it's white producers? Like TMZ did docs on Diddy, there was docs on Hulu. How come they weren't kicking? How come Peacock? How come they weren't kicking the person when they down? Why do we only say that when it's, you know, a black producer? And especially when you know 50 and Diddy got a personal issue. So like there's no reason for 50 to have any type of loyalty to Diddy in any way, shape, or form.
You know what? I didn't even think about it like that. But like you said, there's been a bunch of docs put out before
50.
And nobody said when TMZ did that whole series. Nobody said when the Peacock doc and all those other docs. Nobody said nothing.
It's investigative reporting when they did it. When they do it.
But he wasn't in jail yet. Was he? Like, no, he wasn't.
Which
in jail.
makes
He
it
wasn't
worse.
locked up. He wasn't going through trial.
Which makes it worse because he was going through trial when they were doing these documents. When they were doing these documentaries. I think it makes it worse.
But he thought
because
he
the
was gonna
jurors
win.
could have had a chance to watch it. People could have had a chance to watch it. I think it was worse.
And what is this documentary doing other than telling a story?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, it's just telling a story.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a story based off Diddy's actions.
Yeah.
So how's that kicking him when he's down?
I mean, how I seen it.
And aren't you
was
supposed
just
to kick your enemy when they down?
I mean, yeah,
50
all the
don't
time,
like
stomp
Diddy.
him in the ground. But I'm saying, like, he's in jail, like he's in prison right now. So I feel like that's what Marlon is saying. Like, it's nothing that Diddy can do. He's not home walking around free. Like he can't do nothing. His hands is tied. So
like he can't
that's
respond
him.
back?
Yeah, like or he can't do anything. Send the flowers. I mean, whatever. But
Also, 50's not the only producer on this documentary.
Yeah,
Y'all
no.
do know that, right?
Yeah,
there's other executive producers on this documentary.
50,
So why is 50
it was-
the only one that's kicking him down? It just sound like Diddy getting jumped to me.
It was 50 idea, right? This off. If 50 didn't have the idea to do it, it wouldn't have been done and executed this perfectly.
I doubt it. I doubt so.
Really?
I almost guarantee somebody probably came to him and said, "This is what they want to do."
Yeah, he's the executive producer.
I've been on the receiving end of those kind of phone calls where people want to come and they'll be like, "Who's a person we could do a documentary on?" I'd be like, Elvis.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Ja Rule said he's about to do his own documentary because, and speaking of kicking your enemy,
He doing his own.
Ja Rule, I mean, he's just trolling 50 Cent, but he's basically saying, he's calling 50 a hypocrite. He's saying, you got your own stuff that people could talk about, so you need to step on out of this, and I'm going to do my own documentary. And he's trying to make it seem like, 50 Cent doesn't really care about the victims and people that are on the receiving end of this. It was all about getting the story out. So he's like piling on
None
to
of
the
these
like
people that do
50
these
should never did it.
documentaries care about the victims. Okay, and Ja say he trolling until a production company actually approaches him and say, "Hey, you really want to do this?" I guarantee. I'm telling you, it's the game.